Hello everyone and welcome to my Let's Play Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi for the PlayStation 2. So you can see I'm going to be running this on my backwards compatible PS3. Recently finished Tenkaichi 2 and I've never played Tenkaichi 1 as a kid, so this will be my first playthrough of it. During my time playing Tenkaichi 2, I had seen a collection called the Dragon Ball Z Trilogy for PS2. I ended up buying it, and one of the games that came in it was, of course, the prequel that I had never played. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi. Now, fair warning, the Elgato is not getting along with the initial part of me starting up the game, so it's gonna look a little funky, bear with me. I don't know why it decides to not want to cooperate, but it is what it is, we'll try to make it work, guys. So, let's go ahead and start up our game. There we go. My controller had apparently turned off for a moment. I guess I took too long to start this up. So yeah, you're gonna see some static and maybe a no signal here or there, or a black screen. I don't know why it decides to be funky. I tried it out with one of my digital games and it did not act up. I guess maybe this game like switches between a lot of resolutions and the Elgato just doesn't like it. I did try it out a little bit, obviously, that's why I know all of these issues. So a save file was already initially created, that's why we can see this here. But this is where things are going to start getting kind of weird. See, there's no sound there. I'm going to like try to skip through as much of this as I can so that we can get right into where we want to be. Because I don't want to deal with silliness. And you guys probably aren't interested in all of these companies. Oh, there we go. Here's our no signal. Let's enjoy the intro, which I think was actually really well done. I'm kind of sad that I got gimped on it because I never saw it as a kid. And if you're wondering, yes, I am playing it in its original 4:3 format instead of a stretched out screen. Probably should have done that for Tenkaichi 2. I'll definitely do it for Tenkaichi 3. Piccolo, who's just being punched in the gut. Yeah, Gohan, finish it! But people watching this were like, is the combat gonna be like this? It is a really cool, well done intro. Although this part's kind of hilarious. Because you're gonna see like this head bobbing moment. Everyone's seen the gif of it. There we go, that. I'm actually kind of happy. I didn't have to deal with as much crazy, I don't feel like working scenarios as I did when I was first trying to boot this up. Alright, so I mean, I'll just make a new game so you guys know that I haven't done anything. Yeah, I'm fine with it. Would you like to override it? Yeah, I would like to override it just because, I mean, I want it to be a fresh start. I've actually never played this, so
hey,
let's see how this goes.
There's lots of fun things to do here. Which game mode would you like to play? This is an awesome mode.
So Z Battle, Ultimate Battle, World Tournament, Dueling, Practice. Let's hop into practice for a moment because
I'm glad you came. Different levels of training and practice are carried out. Which one are you doing? I'll teach you what the controls are while you're...
Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to do the tutorial.
Which one should we take care of?
Basic movement.
Alright, let's do it. If you ever find yourself lost, come back here anytime.
You can move in the direction the directional button is pressed. So that's a given. Also move using the left analog. Your ability to do a Z search by using L1 efficiently is affected by your movement. By pressing the up directional button, you can move towards your opponent. When characters get close to each other, they enter approach mode. In this state, you can move toward your opponent. Okay, this stuff I kind of already know. When leaving approach range, you return to regular mode. When using the directional button and pressing the X button, you can perform a high-speed dash. After locating your opponent with a lock-on, pressing X will start a dash towards them. This is very important technique, so make sure you remember it. By pressing the R1 button, you can jump. When pressing the R1 button during a dash, you can do a dash jump. Now then, that's all there is about basic mode. Controlling the amount of distance between you and your opponent will lead to victory. By using each type of movement depending on the situation, your battle power will rise sharply.
That's all. Make sure it's pounded into your head.
Oh, I will.
Which one should we take?
How many are these? Oh boy, we're gonna be here for a while. Flying.
Alright, let's do it. You ever find yourself lost? Come back here anytime.
Next, we will discuss levitation technique, which will allow you to freely fly through the air. Pressing the R1 button during a jump, you begin to levitate and can hover in midair. As with normal movement, you can move around by pressing the direction button while levitating. You can climb using R1 and dive using R2. When pressing R1 button while approaching, you briefly rise diagonally backward, and with R2 button, you can briefly drop diagonally backward. Also, by pressing the X button while moving the directional button while levitating, you can perform a flying dash. This is a normal dash. Okay, so I'm gonna skip kind of through this, because unless they're saying something I don't know.
Let's begin. Concentrate your energy. Which one? Alright,
Locking
let's
on.
do it.
He's already kind of established that it's L1 to lock on.
You ever find yourself lost? Come back here anytime.
And this way, you can track your opponent. When you lose sight of your opponent, their display on the radar will also disappear. When this happens, it is easy for you to be hit by your opponent's sneak attack, so it's a very dangerous situation to be in. And so, when you lose sight of your opponent, lock onto them. You can do it either by search or manual search when lock on. While doing an auto search, the search range gradually increases by holding down the L1 button. And when your opponent is within search range, their location is displayed on the radar. Manual search, press R3 button while releasing lock on. The camera will swing around behind your character. You can control your viewpoint by using the directional button left. That doesn't sound like I'll be using it very much. Locking on can be interrupted if you are hit by powerful attacks such as Dragon Smash or Ultimate Blast, so watch out. There are differences between the lock-on speed and range for each character, and when performing a lock-on, you are left utterly defensive, so be careful. There are also differences in the abilities, different types, blah blah blah. Just let me explain about Z-type. This type is one that performs standard lock-on. A lock-on is successful in spotting their opponent when they're with their own eyes, so there's an obstacle between your opponent, the lock-on will fail. However, since Z-type characters can detect key of their opponents, they can also get a pretty good idea where they are, even when hiding behind an obstacle. Scouter type. By using a scouter, lock-on is instantly successful, even if their opponent is hiding. However, sometimes their scouter malfunctions, resulting in attacks from their opponents. When this happens, their lock-on ability drops below that of Z-type. Also, since they cannot detect key without their scouters, they are helpless. This type of character does not have any key, so unless they are directly spotted, their opponent lock-on will fail. However, with the exception of characters that have their own search, this type is surrounded. Finally, there is the other type. This type is like the Z type, maybe even weaker. This type has extremely low lock-on performance and are unable to detect your opponent's key, nor can they master their own. That's all there is about lock-on. Since there's a great difference, blah blah blah, stages will become an important factor, so you should remember the difference between types.
I say you're all done here. What's the matter? Your opponent isn't going to wait for you. Which one should we take care of?
Key.
All right, let's do it. Let's begin. You ready for this?
This is going to be how to shoot key. Things such as key blast and finishing moves, your key is consumed. You can check the remaining key, which is displayed in yellow gauge. L2, you can charge up your key. I figured. When charging your key, you are completely defenseless, so make sure you charge when it's safe to do so. That's all there is about key. Be sure to keep an eye on your opponent. I'm glad that one was relatively short.
Sure it's pounded into your head.
But we'll do
Which one should we take?
Dragon Dash.
All right, let's do it. You ever find yourself lost? Come back here anytime.
Next, we'll discuss the Dragon Dash, where your body is surrounded by an aura as you move at high speeds. It is done by pressing X button while holding L2 button, allowing you to charge at high speed toward your opponent. There is Z switching. By pressing the directional button at the same time, you can also Dragon Dash in whatever direction you like. Dragon Dashes consume key, and they have the limitation not being available to you if your key is under 10%. Their speed is faster than that of a regular dash, and key blast attacks from your opponents are automatically deflected. However, smash key blasts cannot be deflected, and they also have drawbacks of not allowing you to launch any key blasts. Also, when doing a Dragon Dash with the directional button, you can ascend using R1 and descend using R2. After pressing the X button while holding down the L2 button, canceling your Dragon Dash. By pressing the R1 button while holding L2 button down, you can shoot upwards while doing a Dragon Dash. Similarly, by pressing the R2 button while the L2 button is down, you will dash down. You can keep shooting up or down until you hit either the ceiling or the ground. You can cancel along the way with the X button. By pressing the X button while holding the L2 button as you are shooting up or dropping down, you can Dragon Dash toward the opponent while locking onto them. By pressing the directional button concurrently, it's possible to Dragon Dash in any direction you want to go. You can also use the R1 button to shoot up and R2 button to drop down while pressing the L2 from a Dragon Dash. That's all there is about Dragon Dashing. See, they should have had a regular controller to show you this. This is actually a good tutorial as opposed to the one I saw in Tenkaichi 2. This is something they did right.
Let's begin. You ready for this?
We'll discuss the basics of hand-to-hand. Pressing the square button, you can engage in hand-to-hand. Pressing square button repeat, you can launch a rush attack. Rush attacks do not do a great deal of damage, but they do have the features of helping your vitality to recover when landing hits. Every time you perform a rush hand-to-hand attack, your smash gauge on the bottom right of your screen increases. You can hold down the score button for the amount to disengage. By combining a smash attack with the directional button, you can perform different techniques. There are 3 stages to a smash attack. By releasing the score button after holding it down briefly, you can perform a smash attack that sends your opponent flying a short distance. You can do rush power smashes, which send your opponent flying even greater. Or you can add a powerful attack in the form of a rush full power smash attack. Additionally, when pressing the X button immediately after a power smash hit, you can chase after your opponent with a regular dash. When fighting on the ground, pressing the X button right after sending your opponent flying upward, you can dash toward the location where the opponent will come down. When the X button immediately Following a full power smash hit, dragon homing occurs. And by then pressing the square button, you can perform a dragon smash, a fierce pursuit attack. By using the directional buttons when performing a dragon smash, you can send your opponent flying in whatever direction you like. By holding down the square button and the X button during the smash attack motion, you can also cancel the move. You can also engage in hand-to-hand attacks from dashes or jumps, but these sorts of attacks cannot be performed during rush. It can only be accomplished during smash attacks. What's more, directly following a smash attack out of a dash, by repeatedly hitting the square button, you can initiate a rush attack. By pressing the X button and the up directional button while near an opponent, you can grab them and do a throw attack. Now then, let's get to the basics. Hand-to-hand combat is very important, means attacking, and there will be a mainstay of your fighting technique, so make sure your hit connects so the battle comes out in your favor.
I say you're all done here for now. Which one should we take? Alright, let's do it. Let's begin. You ready for this?
I would guess. We will discuss some more advanced forms of hand-to-hand combat. By pressing another button during a rush attack, it leads to different sort of derivative attacks. Using the X button to deliver a heavy finish while the opponent that is hit cannot move for a short while. Oh, that's annoying. They changed it. Uh-oh. Or they made it better in Tenkaichi 2. Uh-oh. Depending on how long you hold down the triangle button, you will do a 2-stage shout and key blast combo that will blow your opponent away. By pressing the X button and the directional button, you can do a rush step evasion. By pressing the O button during a rush to hand, you can take a body strike motion. When the opponent's rush attack hits during the body strike motion, you can counter them and use the body strike technique to attack them. Further, for a certain group of characters, by pressing the triangle button while pressing the O button, you can adopt the body strike motion immediately. Its performance is the same as if doing the body strike following a rush, but since it can be done at any time, it can become a great weapon if mastered. Or by pressing the O button directional button, left to right directional rush attack, you can do a rush high speed movement. Normally, you can only land up to 5 blows in a rush hand to hand, but after the 5th strike, your opponent will go down. After a rush derivative attack hits, further pressing the score button repeatedly will lead to more than 5 hits during the rush attack. And by pressing the O button and up directional button right after the rush, you can pursue your opponent at high speeds. You must make full use of these combos in order to raise the level of your smash gauge high enough to unleash a full power smash. Use rush based attacks to link a rush attack with a full power smash, that's all there is. There are many different types of hand-to-hand combat, but striking the opponent where they are open is the common point of all of them. Be sure to watch your opponent's condition carefully and attack accordingly, not to strike out randomly.
Let's begin. Concentrate your energy. Which one should we take care of?
Oh my god, there's so much more. Key-based attacks.
Alright, let's do it. If you ever find yourself lost, come back here anytime.
Next we will discuss key-based attacks, which can hit an opponent even if you are at a distance. By pressing the triangle button, you can shoot a key blast. By pressing the triangle button repeatedly, you can shoot a rush of key blasts. By holding down the triangle down a long time, you can launch a smash key blast. Further, you can launch key blasts from jumps or dashes as well. You can also launch rush key blasts, and smash key blasts. By releasing Z search and pressing the R3 button, you will switch to manual search mode, and by ignoring locking on, you can shoot key blast. Pressing R3 button again, or by being hit by the opponent, shooting mode is cancelled. The performance key techniques varies greatly between characters, and all sorts of ways to use them, such as working them into rushes for containment. When key techniques are used well, a great number of variations are added to your offensive capabilities, so keep an eye on your key gauge.
So you're all done here for now. Which one should we take care of?
Guarding.
Alright, let's do it.
I guess that's with circle.
Let's begin. You ready for this?
Next we'll discuss guarding and blocking. You can guard against by pressing O, guarding defense against most attacks. When you are on the receiving end of a guard crash, a great deal of ki is lost, and if you run out of ki as a result, you'll be left stunned for a short time. When you are stunned, the only action you can take is to hit your buttons rapidly to hasten recovery, so it is a very dangerous situation to be in. If you can read which direction your opponent's powerful smash will send you by pressing this is how to block it. Like specific ones. There he messed up, there he messed up, there he messed up. The opponent's coming at you with full power smash that will send you flying downward, pressing the up directional button. Yeah, so this is how... like how they're synchronized. They're like doing a little dance. Additionally, if your opponent hasn't pressed the directional button, you can guard just by pressing the O button. If you time your guards right, you can perform blocks against your opponent's rush hand-to-hand attacks. By successfully blocking, not only can you stop your opponent's attacks, you will be the first one able to move afterwards, making it impossible to quickly switch from defense to offense. Your last hit cannot be a ki blast or other unblockable attack. Finish the match with normal attacks, or a finishing move, or super finishing move. That's all there is.
That's all. Make sure it's pounded into your head.
I will pound it into my head.
Which one should we take?
Basic
Alright,
actions.
let's do it. If you ever find yourself lost, come back here anytime.
Next we'll discuss evasive actions, or how to evade your opponent's attacks. When approaching each other by pressing the X button and the directional button, you can make small movements in the direction you press called step evasions. Okay, I know how to do those already. By pressing the O button right before your opponent's throw technique motion hits you, you can deflect their grabbing motion and counter the throw. During the O button right before your opponent's smash attacks or dragon smashes, you can evade their attack. Alright, so yeah, that's... I already knew that. By pressing the left and right directional button at the right time, you can swing around behind your opponent. Usually by the same operations, you can avoid your opponent's ki blast 2 and ultimate blast when moving at high speeds. Just before your opponent's ki blast or rush ki hits you, press O button to deflect them away. Every time you deflect a ki blast, your favorite gauge will increase. You can also deflect while in the middle of the jump. During dashes and dragon dashes, the method of dealing ki blasts is a little different than normal. When in the middle of a dash, pressing the circle or O button, I don't know, I've been calling it interchangeably, will cause you to go into the deflecting motion. You can deflect ki blasts without having to think about the timing. When doing a dragon dash or pressing the O button to match your opponent's smash ki blast, you can perform a rolling evasion to evade the ki blast. By pressing the O button just before your opponent's smash ki hits you, you can bounce their ki blast back at them. Pressing and holding the up direction right before going down, you can perform a spring up dash. By pressing and holding down just before going down, you can perform a backstep rise. By pressing and holding the left and right directional button just before going down, you can also perform sidestep rises. When sent flying by your opponent's throw or smash attack, you will receive a great deal of damage you slam into the ground or a wall. But if you input the command displayed right while you are hurtling, you can perform a defensive fall in midair. Also, if you can input all of the commands displayed, you can do a dragon dash toward your opponent and charge at them. Oh, that's not intuitive at all. I'm glad that they changed all of that. If you've been knocked down or stunned or have been hit by a block crash or a heavy finish attack, you can recover more quickly by repeatedly pressing buttons. That's all there is about evasive actions. Just as with attacking, there are various different methods of evading, and if you can use those methods, you will be able to deal with most of any attack. You can remain calm and ascertain how your opponent will attack, then evade them. You'll be given a great chance to fight back. So even if you get into a pinch, don't give up, and look for your chance to turn the tables on them.
I'd say you're all done here for now. Which one should we take care of?
Good question. How many more do we need? Oh, we're almost done. So we'll finish this in the next part. I know, first part, incredibly boring. Probably should have done some story and then jumped into this. But I have a feeling I'm not going to know how to fight. So we're going to pick up exactly where we left off here. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Subscribe to my channel to help it grow. Click the little bell icon to be in the know. And I'll see you in the next part. Until then, guys, take care.